Hello everyone, I am here to talk about the ponderosa pine. I am here in Sisters, Oregon, which is I'd say about central Oregon, in a drier, more humid climate, so these pines are everywhere and they're my favorite, and I just really want to talk to them about them because they're like super cool. You know you have a ponderosa pine is by looking at the bark is one way. Now, the bark of a ponderosa pine has little crevices and puzzle-like shapes. I have some bark here with me. This was found on the ground. You can see it almost looks like it fits together like a puzzle. I've got a little bit more I can show closer up. If you look at it, it just crumbles. I can't grab that piece. It just fits in there, which is super cool, and that's one factor of how you know it is ponderosa. You also can tell, not just from looking close up at the bark, but from far away. It's got a reddish hue. Their common name is yellow pine, but the color of the bark really isn't very yellow. It's more of an orange color. I mean, I guess you could kind of see the yellow right there, but this is bark that has fallen off and faded. This is closer to the color, which is a orangish, like a really faded orange. But they've got very dark fissures in between the crevices of the bark, and that's one way to tell it's a ponderosa. There are also pines called Jeffrey pine that look similar, but here in this part of Oregon specifically, there are no Jeffrey pines. Another great way to tell is the pine cones. This was found on the ground. Now you can see here, this is a really cool piece because if I tilt it that way, you can see all the seeds in there. Let's pull one out if I can get it, because they are stuck in there. Here's another way to tell if it's a Jeffrey pine versus a ponderosa. I unfortunately cannot get it out. But ponderosa pines, if you look at the bark, the pine cones, the needles go up. You can see the needles that curve upwards. So if you hold it like this, that hurts. And the pine cones are relatively medium-sized. More information, if you look at the pine needles, there are three. Let me set this one down so you can see it. There are three. There's a little bigger one. This one also has three. Grab two examples. I'm in the sunlight so we can take a look at the most exciting part of the ponderosa pine. Unfortunately, you can't see it through a camera because cameras don't work like this. But if you come up to a ponderosa pine that has been in the sun for a while, and you smell in between it, in these areas, it will smell very sweet. Standing here, this close to where I am to it, I can smell it. It's super sweet. You'll describe it as like I don't even know. It's just super duper like sweet, super maybe vanilla-y, butterscotch people say. It just smells really good. You also can see here how the puzzle pieces are and the dark spots in between the bark. I am closer to the pine needles. You can see where the pine needles come out. You can see a pine cone and the three needles that come out of one bunch in the bark from a branch that has a pine cone on it. It's very pokey, spikier. Another super duper cool thing with ponderosa pine is you can tell the age from the bark. Just by looking at the bark, you can estimate about how old the tree is. Not just by size, because some pines experience drought, so they're a little bit smaller, or they experience more water, so they grow bigger, but they might still be younger or older than a pine that looks older or younger. Here, the pine right behind me, this one, is a middle-aged, good age, maybe about 200 years old. You can tell this because the fissures aren't too tight together. I'll show you a really old one. You can tell it's older. But not too tight together, but the tree is a relatively good size. There's a couple of knots or like dead branches on the trees up there. And it's just got, it's not too much, the fissures aren't too deep, they're not too big, but the bark is separated enough. It's just right there in the middle, right? Sorry. Little bits of, I'm sorry, it's not focusing. It's just a little bit longer, there's less cracks, whereas that one's got lots of cracks in the bark. So about 100 to under 100 was the other one. This one might be about 100 to 200, a little bit younger. This is a younger tree, you can tell because the way the bark is separated, it's not quite separated like this one. And this here is an older tree. This one you definitely can tell is older because the size of the panels, the fissures are so much smaller. There's less branches, though this one is still definitely not the oldest. That one over there is definitely older than this one. It's got even, let's see if I can get it to show up on the camera. It's got even bigger like lines in the trees, less cracks, less thin, small pieces of bark, a lot flatter, but still a ponderosa pine. It's got the same crown shape as all of these other ones do. Same needles, same cones, just a lot older.